Alrighty guys, welcome. This is a tutorial video on how to set up Streamlabs OBS. Get a lot of requests from people in my Discord asking how do I set this up, what do I do here, and it's a lot easier to explain over video than a like a voice chat and whatever. So whoever benefits from this video, go ahead and drop a like and let me know in the comment section what other tutorials you guys would like to see. I should be having a voice meter one coming up pretty soon to how I get my audio the way it is. It's not the best, but a big step up from the bass mic. So right now I'm in my my chilling screen, so let me go and show y'all the whole screen. Alright, so we're in OBS. Right here you would see your preview window, whether it be your game, your Xbox, whatever the case may be, and I'll explain all of that, how to set it up. So this is a basic layout, right? You have your preview window, you have your activity feed, or they switched it to mini feed now. So what this does is pretty much tell you who did what on your channel, who subscribed, who followed, who dropped biddies, you name it. If I move my big ass head, let me fix that real quick. Right here is your scenes, right now. Not the best layout. I mean, it's not the best like organization, so you could definitely switch it up. So like this one, my screen designs says duplicate as needed. I messed up, so I would have to go back and redo it, but this is basically my starting screen. So if I wanted to, I could right click it, rename it starting. That you guys can't see it, but so now I basically just have it say starting. You right click, rename, boom. My chilling screen, this is what I started the video with. So you have your webcam, your activity feed, and then just a little small window, and then that's pretty much it. So I guess first things first, oh yeah, your sources right here. This is where everything is going to be on your screen. So if you see, I have browser source 1, browser source, alert box, my overlay, which is me. Hi. This is just another webcam border. Don't worry about that. This is just another overlay. And then how I'm using to record right now is display capture. What I use in game is game capture. If you were streaming to Xbox or your PlayStation or your Wii or your Wii U, whatever the case may be, you would do a video capture device. It says it right here. Select from your built-in USB webcam or an external. Video capture device is where you would find your webcam or your capture card, such as an Elgato, an AverMedia, or a Blackmagic. And simply you just add that source. Right now the only source, USB source that I have currently is my webcam, but let's say you set your webcam up first and all you see is you. Instead, you would add a new source. You would name it Elgato. Why? You would add a source. You would click down this drop down menu, and you would see it here if it was connected properly. And then the resolution type, all that you don't mess with, unless you see for some reason that it's outputting anything but 60 FPS. You definitely want a 60 FPS capture card. So since I don't have a capture card, I am using display capture to record my screen, and then game capture. Right now it says looking for a game to capture because I'm not currently playing a game. Once I do start up a game, it will do it automatically. So right now we're using display capture. Same thing goes for your Elgato. Let's say you made that scene, you found it, and you have it already here. First thing you always do is drag it to the bottom, because let's say you have your overlay. I don't know if you guys deal with any type of Photoshop or whatever, but things work on layers, right? So the bottom layer is what's always going to be shown, and the top layer goes on top of the, on top of the gameplay. So yeah, so you would be like, oh, everything looks fine, but I can't see myself even though I set up a webcam. Well, more than likely, your video capture device, which takes up the whole screen because it's 1080 by, it's 1920 by 1080, is on top of your overlay. So you want to drag that to the bottom, boom, and all of a sudden you're there, right? Now, number one priority after that, after you have your webcam and your game, click on right here, sources. There's an add a new source. Then you would do alert box. It says in plain old purple, if you sign into Twitch, of course, it would say alert box. Click that, and then you go through the process. So add a new source, because that's what y'all would be doing. And then you just hit done. Don't mess with anything. Make sure all of these are checked, and then done. Boom, you see this empty window, but don't worry about that. I already have one of these, so I'm gonna remove it. Mine is right here, but you always want that on top. I have an Elgato source, I'm gonna remove that as well. Let's go settings, okay? Open up your settings tab, which is on the bottom left hand corner. You're gonna go to output. Well, first off, you're gonna go to stream. Make sure that you're signed into a streaming platform, whether it be Twitch, Mixer, you name it. Output. You want to put this in advanced mode. I can't mess with anything right now because I am currently recording, but you would want to put this in advance. You click it, put in advance. Now, leave your audio track 1, because when you're streaming, all you get is one audio track. But most important thing is encoder. If you are streaming from your PC and you don't have an RTX card, an RTX is anything 2060 and above. If you want to check what you have, you can download a program called CPU-Z. That's what you would download. What this program does is it tells you what is everything in your system. Right now I am running an AMD Ryzen 5 3600. And if I go to graphics, you see here I have a GeForce RTX 2060. If you have an RTX card, I recommend, I just open up Spotify. I recommend that you use Hardware NVENC New. That is because the 2060s, 2070s, 2080s, anything in the 20s have a special chip that allows for encoder. So this pretty much tells you exactly what I'm trying to explain, right? So you have the game. The game goes through your CPU, through your GPU, and out towards your monitor, and you're getting X amount of frames, right? And the green is what your stream is recording on. See, it has two separate types of the 20 cards have two different jobs, pretty much, if you use it the right way. That's what if you caught it, the CPU, I mean the NVENC off, you saw he was getting less frames when trying to stream. So that's basically, it's like a feature that these cards have that allows for streamers to get the same FPS but not lose out on quality on your stream. Really cool. So then you're probably like, but Benny or Dogma, I'm gonna be streaming through console. What do I do? Okay, if you're streaming to console and you don't have an RTX card or you don't have a really strong CPU, I would still tell you to use hardware NVENC new, because instead of your CPU doing all the work, your graphics card does all the work. And more than likely you have a graphics card that can handle a 1080p 60 fps recording or stream, because that's all you're doing on that computer. You're not playing a game on it, you're just recording or streaming, and your Xbox or your PlayStation is doing all of the extra work. So that's how you play the game, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, if you're streaming through console, hardware NVENC new. If you have an RTX card, you're gonna also use hardware NVENC new. If you have neither, if you don't plan on streaming console and you don't have an RTX card, you're very limited to what you can do. The default option is X264. That you would have to play around with depending on your specs. So if you don't have a really strong CPU and you're trying to game and record on Streamlabs, you're gonna have a really, really rough time, because streaming is just really, really demanding. Okay, so now that that's out of the way, your rate control, you want to set this to constant bit rate. That's what CBR stands for, constant bit rate. And you want that bit rate. So what I would recommend is you go to Google and you type in speed test. Just run your speed. I don't think this goes above 450, but I should be getting 800. But if you're maxing out this bar, you should have no problem. If you're maxing out this bar, you also shouldn't have a problem. So what you want to do is take your upload and half it. So for instance, I could run 11,000 bitrate. If, you know, obviously Twitch doesn't allow that. It only allows for 6, sometimes 8 if you have a good connection to the server, but so 6, that would mean 12. If you have a 12 megabyte upload, you can run 6. I would recommend 6. If you have anything less, you got to compensate. So if you only have 5 upload, 5 megabyte upload, you would have that. I wouldn't recommend trying to stream on 5 megabyte upload, but who knows? You might get away with some quality. So I set mine to 6,000 because that's what on the website of Twitch says they only allow. Keyframe intervals, you want to set this to 2. So it's basically when you're playing the game, every 2 frames is being sent through your encoder, which is good. Want that. One keyframe, you're putting a lot of workload. You know, 2 allows your encoder to eat more, pretty much. So takes 2 frames, spits it out. Takes 2 frames, spits it out. Instead of 1 frame where it's 1 frame, spit it out. 1 frame, spit it out. Kind of a good example, I guess. Profile, you want to set this to high. Psycho visual tuning, you want to click that. Your GPU, mine says 0. because I only have one GPU, one graphics card in my computer. Let's say you had two graphics cards for whatever reason, and you wanted to use your second GPU. Instead of having this set to 0, you would set it to 1. 0 is your first GPU, 1 is your second GPU. It's kind of confusing. And your max B frames is 2 as well. If you're recording, this is where you can get away with a lot more quality. So I have my type set to standard. I have my recording path in a special folder. So if I open up my V drive, which is for videos, you'd see I have my video thing, my video folder. And it'll, if you don't go in and rename them instantly, this is what you'll create. So I would recommend after each recording, go ahead and name it. And if it's not useful, go ahead and delete it right away so you can save space, because these videos can get a little huge. This one is 85 megabytes. Luckily I have a terabyte on my V drive. I could be a little bit more organized, but that's for the future. So your recording format, you want to set this to MP4 just for the best quality there. Also recording, I have mine set to hardware inmate new because I only stream PC. So when I record gameplay, I don't want it to be taken out of my frames that I have in game. Again, with rate control, you want to set it to constant bitrate. Now, the bitrate for recording can be a little bit lenient. I set mine to 60,000, and you're probably gonna say, "Whoa, that's like 10 extra." Well, not really. It's like 54 more thousand than what you had on streaming. That's because recording, there is no limitations. So you want the best quality you can get. Anything over 50,000 is 1080p 60 FPS. So I set mine to 60,000. Again, keyframe interval 2, preset max quality, profile high, psychovisual tuning, 0 on my GPU because that's my only GPU, and max B frames 2. Now, under video, base canvas resolution. You want to set this to whatever resolution that you're streaming on. This is a 1920 by 1080 monitor. Your output scaled resolution, you want to set this to whatever you want to output. Some people have this 1920 by 720. I'm sorry, excuse me, 1080 by 720. That's like one level down from 1080. I have no scaled. It's a 1-to-1 pretty much. So what you see on my screen is what I'm recording as. Downscale filter. This you will have to play around with if according to your software. Your hardware. I have mine set to Lanticos. It is the sharpest scaling at 32 samples. There are some that are if you make really quick movements, it will be blurry and you will see pixelations. But it's all depending on what your hardware can handle. Lanticos is pretty demanding, so I would play around with that. If you see, if you get stutters, if you see, if you see any pixelations, you're gonna change that to, you're gonna go one step down. So I think the next one down from Lanticos is bicubular or something like that. You'll see it once you open it. I can't currently open it. I'm recording, so okay. So FPS type, you want common FPS values. You don't want nothing fancy here. It's common. And then you set your common FPS value to 60 because that is probably the best quality anyone can have is 60 FPS. It's what's on your screen if you're playing console, and it's what the stream will see. It's a perfect 1-to-1. And also Twitch can only handle 60 FPS, so another important thing under advanced, you want to set the priority to high. I guess another huge tip that I can do is once you fully download Streamlabs, I have it right here, and anytime you open it, you want to right click it and run as an administrator. It will help out tremendously, trust me. And then also you could right click anywhere on the sides of the preview. If you see here, I'm on the like these empty spaces on the side. If you right click anywhere and put in performance mode, you won't be able to see your preview window. So I would recommend fixing everything first, everything like to make it look pretty. Then you hit performance mode and then you hit go live. That would be the best way to get the max performance out of your PC. Whether it be you're recording gameplay or on your console or gameplay on your PC. So hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see y'all later.